Yes, sir. Time to get to work. Jerk of All Trades Podcast. Ray, let that beat ride. Love this song.
Beautiful.
Fucking love it, man.
Beautiful.
What up, Ray?
We'll pretend that the music is actually playing as we're hearing
The
this.
music is playing. This is the Jerk of All Trades Podcast.
Episode
Welcome
3.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's
What,
me and Ray, Eddie the Jerk, Ray the Jerk in the house.
What? Tell them what we have lined up for him this week, man.
Oh man, we got a lot of stuff lined up for you this week. Gonna talk about a little bit of UFC. Gonna talk about a little Wrestlemania 33. Gonna talk about a little stuff in the news. We got some interesting articles, some news events that are going on.
Current events,
Current
as they
events.
call them.
You know, we got to stay current up in this bad boy.
Absolutely. I'm calling this one the variety hour for us. So you know what? We're gonna hit them.
A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything.
We're gonna move on. So
yes, you know what? You know, our very first podcast was about WrestleMania.
yes, it was.
And I don't mean to brag or anything, but your boy Eddie the Jerk killed it on the picks. The champ is here, Eddie the Jerk, and new
WrestleMania pick champion. So give them a little bit of background and tell them what the history of that is, because they don't know. They don't know. Tell them what's up.
I got the applause going in my mind here. Every year we do the picks with our friends for WrestleMania.
How long have we done that for now, do you think?
A longer
time. Well, in episode
15
1,
years, maybe.
In episode 1, you thought we were only friends for like 3 years.
I believe we started WrestleMania
20.
X7.
So it's been quite a number of years.
But it's a gauntlet of picks. It's tough, stiff competition.
Absolutely.
And usually, I'm towards the top, but I hardly ever win these days anymore. But this year, man, I was able to come through.
Pulled it out.
I was the points winner. I wasn't the picks winner, which I was a little upset about.
Oh, you were the points winner.
Yeah, I wanted to be double champ.
That's the bunk title.
I was, I kind of teased this in the last episode, a little celebration. You know, this is my little celebration for WrestleMania. I felt good about it.
So tell them the difference between the points and the picks and how that goes.
Well, you would know more about the points. The picks is just straight up picks.
Right.
13 matches.
Whoever
win? Gets closest to 13 is the winner of the picks. Shout out to Justin for winning the picks.
Which you did not win that one. I had the picks title last year, and the points title is basically so you get points for whoever wins, and then there are different like criteria, like it can be something silly like is this particular wrestler going to wear a T-shirt while he wrestles?
Well, the Brock Lesnar match lasts more than 5 minutes.
Right,
which we all had a great time counting it down.
4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Fuck.
So it's silly
Damn
stuff.
Goldberg.
It's interesting stuff,
man?
And then you add it up at the end and see who has the most points, and then they are the victor. So we have 2 different little crappy championship title belts you could buy at Walmart that represent those.
They're actually pretty nice now.
They're quite a bit.
I'm digging it, man.
I know. I'm pretty upset. I had the WWE one sitting upstairs, and now
you were the points champ.
Last year I was the picks champion.
Oh damn!
Which is the current WWE title.
Okay.
And so
yeah,
it's gone. There's a void where it used to be, and so I'm pretty upset.
Yeah, man.
I'm coming for it next year.
All right, so let's get to WrestleMania here. Do you want to go match by match?
Sure. Yeah. Read off the match. You can talk. Just briefly who won.
We had a WrestleMania party, so Eddie the Jerk doesn't remember all these very well.
We were a little intoxicated. Our friend had made Wapatui, and so it hit pretty hard.
That fruit was no joke. All right, the first match on Wikipedia was Neville versus Austin Aries. Neville, the champion, got the victory there.
So
I think we both accurately predicted this one.
I believe so. I have to say that this was actually one of my favorite matches of the whole show.
I didn't see this one.
It was actually pretty good. I like both guys quite a bit. I really am a big fan of Austin Aries, and it was nice. It was a cruiserweight match, obviously high spots and such, but there was actually some psychology and some stuff that went back with their Austin Aries was out with an eye socket injury, so they kind of played to that in the match, and so I really like that when you get a little actual psychology in cruiserweight match. So I like this match quite a bit.
Check that one out.
That was a good one.
15 minutes and 40 seconds. So
Yep.
there's some good wrestling there. Second match, Mojo Rawley won by last eliminating Jinder Mahal. 33-man battle. 33-man battle.
I did not realize there were so many.
33 guys were in the ring at one time. Huh?
I don't think they.
Because Royal Rumble is where they count them down.
Wow, I did not realize there
Battle
were so
Royal
many.
is just your standard, like everybody just
Right.
in there.
Throw them over the top rope.
Yeah, Gronk. Rob Gronkowski, New England Patriots.
No one knew who he was when I was watching. I am not a sports fan.
I wish I would have been able to see that.
Yeah, the fans didn't pop like they probably had hoped. I definitely did not guess Mojo Rawley. He was not in my final four picks.
Fucking Braun Strowman, what the fuck, son?
Yeah, so I definitely did not guess him, and I am not a huge fan. So
swerve.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, screw that match. Third pick, or I don't know why it says 3P on here, but whatever. Dean Ambrose. This is a match I did get to see. Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. I got to pick this one on the fly. Got it right.
Did you? Yeah.
I picked Baron Corbin, but I wrote Ambrose on my paper.
So you got the
that's
points.
how that one went.
Yeah, I had picked Baron Corbin, and Ambrose won, and this was a pretty disappointing match, in my opinion. Not a whole hell of a lot going on. This was right at the end of the pre-show, and I kind of feel like they probably got the time cut on this match because it was not what you would have anticipated that either one of these guys wanted to have as their WrestleMania match. So it was short.
One of the shorter ones on here for sure.
Nothing that really stood out. Definitely wasn't something I would be itching to go back and watch. So
yeah, Intercontinental match. But speaking of sticking out, this next match stuck out significantly in my opinion. AJ Styles defeating Shane McMahon. 20 minutes and 35 seconds of a fantastic match for a...
Absolutely.
How old is Shane McMahon? 40-something, 50-something?
No, I don't think he's 50 yet. He's probably in his mid to late 40s.
Shane McMahon going to work with AJ Styles.
Great match, man.
Hell yeah, man. Shout out to fucking Shane McMahon.
Shout out to AJ Styles.
And shout out to AJ.
So,
both of them.
I will say, one thing that I really liked about this is that Shane didn't just simply rely on jumping off of some giant apparatus. It wasn't about just one big spot, and I thought that this match was as good as it possibly could have been.
It was as good as it got for
those two. I mean, honestly, Shane probably never had a better match except for maybe against Angle.
This might have been better.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it again, but Shane's had some good ones. He's an X-Pac. That X-Pac match was good. I enjoyed that one. But whatever.
Biggest, real quick, one thing I want to say on that. The biggest thing is I think the thing that holds that together is AJ Styles, man. AJ Styles can basically, he is like the Ric Flair of this generation. He can basically have an amazing match with anyone. And if you look at everyone's best matches, they always happen to be against AJ Styles. And that's because... honestly, he's the best worker in the business right now.
He's not selfish.
Yeah. So he will make anybody look amazing. Everything he does is awesome. So love AJ Styles. Best match of the card by probably a wide margin.
Yeah. Enjoyed it very much.
Yes.
Next match was Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Kevin Owens winning the United States title.
Predictable. Not a bad match.
Jericho losing at WrestleMania yet again.
Yeah. You know what? That's what Jericho does. I liked the match. It was good. Unfortunately, there was just so many other big matches that this kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit, and it was disappointing.
It was hard to follow that Shane and AJ match.
Yes, it was. This is a tough WrestleMania to lay out. How do you lay this out and not, This
might have been a good spot for the Divas.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, but then, later in the show, you don't have anything to split up the major... So
towards the end there.
But yeah, I liked the match. It was good.
It was a good match. The next match was Bayley defeating Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax, who got thrown in there after the podcast was recorded.
Yeah.
But neither of us were picking her anyways.
No, she was my first out, and she was in fact the first out. So
yeah. Shit, man.
What was your take on this match?
My take on this match is pretty simple. I think it's probably the same as your take on this match. It was the Charlotte Flair show.
Charlotte is absolutely amazing, and she definitely
got the biggest entrance.
She
got the biggest spots. She got fucking everything.
Which I will say is actually kind of bizarre.
But she didn't get the victory.
Bayley is the champion. Why does Bayley not come out last? Because she's Bayley.
That was weird.
She's the
and
the
she
underdog.
ended up winning too.
Yeah. I thought that was a bit odd that they didn't play into the Sasha Banks and her angle in this match. It wasn't a bad match. It was a decent match. I don't think it was as good as last year's women's match, but it was all right.
Yeah, like I said, man, it was all about Charlotte Flair here. Let's see. Hardy Boys. Fatal 4-Way, which we all thought the New Day was getting in there.
I thought that they did that in a very interesting way. You thought the New Day was going to put themselves into the match, and I thought it was a great way to bring the Hardy Boys in. Probably the biggest pop of WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, Hardy Boys defeating Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Cesaro and Sheamus, and Enzo and Big Cass. I think everybody changed their pick once the Hardys came out.
Right. There was no way you were betting against the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, no, that was a no-brainer. That was the biggest no-brainer of the night. Especially in a ladder match, which makes you, it like ties everything together. Like we were all wondering, like, why is this a ladder match?
Right, makes sense.
And then all of a sudden the Hardy Boys come out. So there you go.
I thought it was a good match too. I will say that I thought that ladder matches can be tough and a little too spot heavy, and I thought they did a good job of mixing that up and letting everybody get their stuff in. And I liked the match, and it made sense that the Hardy Boys won, and I thought it was a good match.
This was the match the Wapatui was starting to kick my ass a little bit. So, but I do remember a little bit about it, and it wasn't bad. Certainly wasn't bad.
Truth be told, I've gone back and watched this WrestleMania after that, which was helpful, so I can kind of give a little bit different perspective because I have watched it.
Doing it for the podcast, right? Doing it for the podcast.
Correct. Correctamundo.
All right, next match, John Cena and Nikki Bella defeating The Miz and Maurice. The no-brainer pick of the night, John
Absolutely.
Cena.
There was no way The Miz was going over in this match.
Yeah, not much to say about this. You got anything to say about this one?
You know what? I think that this was actually interesting for me because I heard about this match many months ago, and I think when I first heard about it, I definitely wasn't happy that was how Cena was being used at WrestleMania. But I think in the end, this actually ended up being a very good spot for John Cena, not being in one of those major matches. The rumors were that initially he was set to face The Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania, and then Vince had a change of heart and instead wanted to go with Roman Reigns, and apparently Cena was not too happy about that. But I think that this was a good spot for Cena, and I think that The Miz has just been on fire this year. This has been The Miz's probably best year ever, and I think it was a good place for him to be, and I thought that this was a good spectacle type match for WrestleMania. Obviously, not an amazing match, but I thought that it fit in at WrestleMania, and I thought it was what it was, and I thought it was a good use of both guys. So
you got the double pin.
Right. I guess
double pin.
There was no other finish for this match besides double pin.
Jesse Ventura would have been all over that shit.
Yeah.
What's going on, Gorilla? They're both in the ring.
The referee definitely should have. I had no clue who was legal at that point, so.
I don't think anybody cared.
That's what I tell the cops. I didn't know who was legal.
That's right.
All right.
All right, so the next match was actually pretty good. Seth Rollins defeating Triple H in a non-sanctioned match. I was a little surprised Seth Rollins was able to wrestle as long as he did. I thought he was really injured, but I guess not.
So he apparently was actually injured too. I don't think that he was as injured as was let on. And also he had a very, very nasty flu in the days leading up to WrestleMania and potentially wasn't going to be able to be at WrestleMania.
Damn.
So he pulled it out. I thought the match was really good. The only disappointing aspect that I would say of this is that Triple H still had to make himself look better than the current talent. His entrance just dwarfed Seth Rollins' entrance. I just recently read that this gets kind of a joke, is that if Triple H were to fight a resurrected Jesus Christ at WrestleMania, he would somehow manage to have a better entrance than Jesus Christ. And that was definitely the case here. Somehow Triple H, as the heel that no one likes, has an amazing entrance, and Seth Rollins, has a torch. So For the match itself, I thought it was good. I liked it. I don't think it was the best match in the card, but I liked it okay. What's your take on that?
25 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow, 25 minutes on that match.
I remember it being long as fuck. It was good. It was better than I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of run-ins in this match.
I'm glad there was none.
I thought we might see a little Mick Foley action.
I thought Samoa Joe maybe.
Or somebody, anybody, but nobody came out for this match.
Besides Stephanie.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was what it was. Good match. And on to the next one.
Yes.
Randy Orton defeating Bray Wyatt. Singles match for the WWE title. 10 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow, that was only 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that little cockroach
just
fuckery on the ring. Yeah.
Oh man,
God, that was bad.
That was I can't imagine that someone suggested that in creative and that made it out of that room, and somehow they spent a lot of money on doing that because it was really bad.
I dig Bray Wyatt.
I want to dig him more. I want to like him more.
I got to see him early on when he was a babyface in Florida. And when I saw him wrestle, I instantly thought, like, man, he would make a great heel.
Yeah.
Just by the way he was in the ring. And, it's proven that he's great as a heel.
He is a great heel. I wish they would just kind of let off of him a little bit. His promos are a little meandering. He talks about a lot of things and gets very wordy and doesn't really say a whole hell of a lot. So actually he is a bit like me, but the match in and of itself, I thought was, it was all right. It was about what I would anticipate it to be.
Well, the match was fine. I think they could have waited on the special effects for Backlash or whatever the next pay-per-view is.
Payback, yeah.
Whenever the next one is, save the special effects shit for that.
I think they could have saved it for the cutting room floor.
Yeah, WrestleMania doesn't need that.
No.
It doesn't need it. I don't know why
I think that they wanted to differentiate that match, but, I mean, just create a great angle between a heel and a babyface and make it about the title, and then you don't have to have cockroaches and worms.
Maybe they're trying to try something different, but I didn't like it.
No, not a fan.
Anyway, so yeah, Orton gets the W. So far, so good. Next match was probably the high spot of the night. We all got into this match like a motherfucker. Suplex City, Brock Lesnar defeating Goldberg. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. 16 seconds short of the bonus points. Yeah, man. Suplex City, Brock Lesnar getting the W. All about that Brock Lesnar. Goldberg's gone, I guess, now,
huh? Goldberg came out on Raw after the show and basically said his goodbyes and kind of said it was over for him, and kind of teased that maybe at some point he might come back. But
10 suplexes?
I don't think there was 10 suplexes in this match.
No?
No.
I remember we were counting them.
Yeah. I don't think there was 10.
He didn't make it to 10?
No. You know what I will say about this match? I think that after they're just one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all time, and
this one?
No. The WrestleMania 20. This one I think was absolutely as good as this could possibly be. The fans were loving it. We loved it, and I thought it was a great match for these two guys.
This match got everyone out their chairs. This match got everybody locked into the TV. Just to reiterate what Ray said, it's as good as what these guys can do, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is what it is. 4 minutes and 45 seconds. It was Brock's turn. He got the belt, and hopefully they put him on Raw more than he actually is these days.
Yeah, I don't think he's been on Raw yet since he's won the title.
They can get Eddie to Jerk to tune in to Raw maybe more than one time a year.
Yeah, he hasn't been there at all, so I don't anticipate that happening more.
SummerSlam.
He'll be back for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so Naomi in the next match, Naomi defeating Alexa Bliss, Carmella with James Ellsworth, Mickie James, Natalya, and Becky Lynch. 5 minutes and 35 seconds. I'm sure the entrances were longer than the match. Naomi, I got the pick right on this one. I don't know if you did.
I don't don't remember who I picked, but I think I picked Mickie James. I probably should have picked her. This is like her home state or city or whatever.
On the podcast, I said the hottest chick would win. Technically, I got it right. Naomi. You know.
I mean, that's open to interpretation.
Oh, come on, man. She got that ass, bro.
Yeah, she does have a move literally where she, throws her ass into your face.
She's hot. She's hot. Yeah. But, so I don't remember the match.
I remember nothing about it either. Honestly, I barely remembered who won it. So,
but I'm happy I got it right.
Yeah, good job.
So, yeah, no blown spots.
No
bonus points from me.
There was no blown spots. Maybe later in the locker room, but not during the match.
I don't think. What's her name?
Naomi.
No.
Mickie James.
No.
Alexa Bliss. Sunny.
Not Sunny. Paige.
Paige was not there.
Paige didn't blow any spots.
No, she did not. She did not blow any spots.
Fuck.
But yeah,
maybe next time.
They have changed the NXT women's title now, so
they did
because
of that shit.
It's probably part of it, but
Okay.
So yeah,
maybe not. All right, yeah. So next one on the block, Roman Reigns defeating The Undertaker in a no holds barred match, 23 minutes and 5 seconds. I did not do my research on this match. Clearly, I was not in the know going with The Undertaker.
You went with The Undertaker. Interesting. I didn't even remember that.
I had Undertaker all day.
Somehow you still won the points. That's impressive.
Yeah. Even though I probably shouldn't have. I don't remember too much about this. I was rooting for The Undertaker, but it's a 23-minute match. About 16 minutes in, it was evident that The Undertaker had no offense left.
Yeah, it was. I will tell you, so going back and watching it, The Undertaker was pretty blown up. This is definitely not the amazing, 5-star matches of The Undertaker that he was having, maybe 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
There was a couple pretty bad botches, but I don't think that was what this match was about. This match was really about the end of The Undertaker's career, the send-off, and, kind of getting more heel-type heat on Roman Reigns, and, just kind of giving The Undertaker a send-off, and so that's what it was.
Yeah, the streak wasn't on the line, but Roman got the victory. So
only the second person ever to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Undertaker, true traditionalist in the fact that he
doing the JOB.
Yeah, he enjoys passing the torch, but I don't know about this one. This was interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely. I will say that it's not a match that I would go back and watch very often. I can't say I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan. And, but yeah, I mean, it's Undertaker's last match. So, R.I.P. Undertaker. You've had a great career. And, is
that an oxymoron?
I don't know. I don't know if that would be an oxymoron. Irony, maybe in Alanis Morissette's eyes, but yeah.
We should do a little homage to The Undertaker.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the countdown of The Undertaker's best matches in which we both had the same one.
Well, I'll just say Gray Gloves Undertaker. Even though I hated him because he beat Hulk Hogan back in the day, fucking phenomenal.
Seriously, man.
Phenomenal. Like that Jake the Snake match that I was talking about on the last podcast, or, the WrestleMania podcast. I went back and watched it probably about 4 or 5 days ago. His commitment to the character and to the work in the ring, is second to none.
Unparalleled, man.
It had never been done before, and still to this day, nobody does.
In anyone else's hands, that gimmick would not have worked, and he managed to make it. Honestly, that is the greatest gimmick character in wrestling's history by a long shot.
Longevity-wise, nobody will ever touch him.
Always changing, changing with the times, and. Who would have ever thought, watching The Undertaker's early career and then that, the WrestleMania 25, 26, 27, going into that era. I mean, he had some of the most amazing matches of all time that are, arguably the best matches ever. So
for a guy that big, because Undertaker's a big motherfucker.
He is a big mofo.
To walk the top rope. To jump over the tope over the top rope.
Incredible.
I mean, god damn it, man. There will never be another Undertaker.
No, absolutely not.
He was ahead of his time.
100% ahead of his time, and one of the greatest workers of all time. No arguments there. So, yeah, once again, R.I.P. to The Undertaker and his career, and he deserves an awesome retirement. So,
hell yeah, man. He deserves all the praise that he's been getting. I'm sure the internet's been marking out for him left and right.
Absolutely.
We're marking out for him because he deserves it.
Yes.
And on to the next one.
All right, real quick, gonna take a little break. The WrestleMania 33 went a little bit longer than anticipated, and then we're gonna come back, and I'm going to have my first topic. So we will see you on the flip side of the musical breakdown. So, all right, see you in a moment. So here we go. So Eddie had hit WrestleMania 33. My topic that I wanted to talk about was Kendall Jenner and Miss Kendall Jenner. Honestly,
wait, is she legal yet?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I barely know the difference between these fucking
not,
chicks.
I take that back. Call me when you turn 21, bitch.
She's surely over 18, but I honestly can't tell you. But yeah, Kendall Jenner, one of the fucking Jenners, was in a Pepsi commercial. So basically what happened was Pepsi had a brand new commercial that apparently a lot of people thought would be relevant to the times, in which we see a lot of diverse characters and a lot of diverse people that are all kind of joining together and doing a march on the streets, and they encounter the police, and somewhere along the line, Kendall Jenner comes in and decides to create peace with the police by giving them a Pepsi. So, yeah, a lot of people feel like that was a little tone deaf. They were kind of invoking the Black Lives Matter, and yeah, they're kind of using that to sell a soft drink. So Pepsi gave in to the backlash and eventually pulled the ad. So what do you think about all that, Eddie?
Didn't take too long to pull that fucking ad. Yeah, man, the internet, man, it's crazy these days. One little commercial comes out, and within like 24 hours, the whole shit gets shut down.
Yeah.
I hope she still got paid for that shit.
I'm sure she's doing okay.
Well, it's just the whole,
I'm sure she was already paid in full. Honestly, I don't even know if I assume that the commercial actually had to have made it to air. I saw it online. But yeah, I mean, just honestly, just how absolutely fucking tone deaf can you be as a company to think that, a soda is going to somehow be able to solve all of the world's issues? And
you know what, man? That guy that got the beat down on United should have had some fucking Pepsi.
He should. You know what? He should have.
If he just would have had a can of Pepsi,
everything would.
His ass would have been fine.
Everything would have been okay. They were actually United only has Coca-Cola products, and so thus
he fucked up.
He tried to give them a Coke, and
they weren't feeling it.
No, he should have tried to give them some cocaine.
All Trump had to do was send Kendall Jenner to Syria with a couple cases of Pepsi.
Everything would have been fine.
Everything would have been fine. But no, he had to fucking drop a bomb in their ass.
You know what? Maybe that's the whole idea behind this ad and why it's been pulled, is that, as humanity, we finally realized that the one thing that ties us all together is that we all hate the Jenners.
You know what's funny? It kind of reminds me of those Mentos commercials back in the day.
Yes.
Where some type of shenanigan would be going on. Like, I don't know if it was illegal stuff or like whatever. Some guy would
I don't think there was.
A guy would sneak into a party, right? Even though he's not supposed to be there. And then like security would chase him down. but then like they couldn't get to him because he got too far away, and he just turns around and has like a Mentos.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
So this is like the new Mentos. It's like, it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's like these cops and shit, but I got my Mentos.
Right. The police are beating down minorities at every left and right turn, but you know, if they just had a Pepsi in the car,
yeah,
you're good.
It's like the United thing. It's like all those United people, all they had to do was run a Mentos thing. It's like, yeah, we beat the crap out of this guy, but we have Mentos.
We have Mentos.
And so that makes everything okay.
Mentos, the difference maker. So, yeah, you know, if Trayvon Martin just had a Pepsi,
ouch,
everything, that was a dated reference, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going with it.
I'm going the other way. I think that, who's the other fucker that shot him?
Rodney King. Oh wait, no.
The guy that shot Trayvon Martin.
Yeah, the piece of shit who eventually sold the gun that he shot him with online, and they had to pull it. I don't remember what his name is. Piece of shit.
Zimmerman.
Yeah, Mark Zimmerman, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
He's a mark-ass fucking piece of shit.
I think
an unarmed fucking teenager.
Absolutely.
Motherfucker's not even a cop.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck him.
But anyway.
Unless he's got a Pepsi. All I wanted was just one Pepsi.
God damn it, man.
That was a Suicidal Tendencies reference. It's a band from the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, Kendall Jenner.
All right. So, yeah, Kendall Jenner. Yeah, just... Oh my God! It's actually interesting to me that people. I saw a lot of people online in the comment section who didn't.
I feel bad for like all the civil rights people back in the day, like the old school black.
Seriously.
Black people, like.
MLK didn't have nothing on Kendall Jenner.
Because there's still a lot of racism that goes on in the South.
No, dude, trust me. As a, I'm a white dude. I've got a shaved head because I'm balding, and I have a big beard and tattoos, and so I will tell you that I actually get, especially at work, I get people that somehow find that they can confide their secret racism to me in
What the fuck?
a matter of minutes of seeing me. I could tell many a story, and yeah, it's pretty fucking sad that people are not only have really, really backwards ways of looking at the world, but they can meet someone and barely fucking know them and feel like that they can confide that, you know, they hate other people for the silliest reasons. And yeah, so those are the same people that don't see anything wrong with this goddamn Pepsi commercial. So fuck yeah, I'm glad it got pulled. And yeah, fuck this ad.
Yeah, sorry, Kendall Jenner.
Fuck you, Pepsi.
But they fucked up on this one.
Not a good call. So, all right, we'll wrap that one up. And Eddie, why don't you hit him with the next topic? What you got?
UFC 210 was live last Saturday in Buffalo, New York. Daniel Cormier versus Anthony Johnson. I only talked about it 10 times on the last podcast. If you listened to it, hopefully you didn't.
I was actually on the podcast, and somehow I not only did not realize that it was on, but I also did not watch it, so I know absolutely nothing about this. So
this is interesting. Yeah. The very first fight I was telling you about, Daniel Cormier won in the second round via submission, rear naked choke.
Was it a good fight or what?
In the first fight or the second fight?
The second fight.
Second fight, no. Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy that watches a lot of UFC, so it wasn't great, but it was.
What would Joe Rogan think about that?
Joe Rogan would love it because he loves everything UFC.
Joe Rogan?
He has an appreciation that's on an expert level. I have an appreciation that's up there, but not expert level. And you would have a academic level of appreciation for it.
With mentioning Joe Rogan, I just want to mention that once again, we are on the Share for Share program here on Jerk of All Trades. So
sponsor us.
You sponsor us. We'll sponsor you. So Joe Rogan, think of the reach that you would have. Think of the reach around that you would have on this world if you just sponsored us. We sponsor you, and everything works out. We will give you a 24-pack of Pepsi of your choice
from Kendall Jenner.
Could be cherry Pepsi, could be vanilla, could be diet, could be another variety. Maybe you want Mountain Dew. No, not Mountain Dew. It's got to be actual Pepsi.
Pepsi.
But yeah.
If you're ever having a bad day, Joe Rogan, that Pepsi might come in handy.
That's Pepsi breaking open and suds everywhere.
But keep your hands off that 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So yes, the very first fight, Daniel Cormier defeated Anthony Johnson in the second round via rear naked choke. Guess how Daniel Cormier won this fight?
With a front naked choke?
Almost. He won this fight in the second round with a rear naked choke.
Impressive.
Almost identical to the first fight. In the first fight, Anthony Johnson knocked him down. Cormier came back and eventually won it in the second with a submission. This fight, for some reason, Anthony Johnson tried to wrestle with Cormier, who's an Olympic-level wrestler.
Not a good call.
Not a great call.
Negatory.
And but he did land a good kick on Cormier's face, broke his fucking nose, like knocked his nose sideways, kind of like dented it in and shit. It wasn't bleeding at all, but it was,
noticeably fucked up.
He wasn't getting any dates.
He had the Owen Wilson nose going on.
Kendall Jenner wasn't trying to holler at that, that nose looking like that. But anyways, but yeah, Johnson landed the kick, busted his nose. Second round, Cormier takes him down.
Dunzo.
Puts him in the submission.
Done.
So it kind of funny. If I had to bet that fight, which is easy to say after the fact, but I would have bet Daniel Cormier, and I would have made a lot of money. Anyways, second fight. Gegard Mousasi defeating Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman is actually...
Is he a wide man or is he not wide?
He is a wide man.
Is he? He's a wide man?
He's a wide man. He's authentic. He's a bloodline Chris Weidman. His dad's a Weidman.
Oh,
his grandfather's a Weidman.
I was more referencing like the like his body frame.
And this motherfucker's in shape.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I assume probably
He's a tank. He's a wrestler. He's an all-American wrestler.
Is he like Tank Abbott or no?
He would wrap Tank Abbott up pretty quick.
Like a fucking present.
Like a pretzel. But yeah, he's the guy that beat Anderson Silva. That stopped Anderson Silva's 15 or 16 fight win streak.
That is impressive.
Beat him twice. He lost. He lost, man, and it was controversial as fuck. The fans shitted all over this. The referee kind of fucked up. The commission...
Fuck you, Weidman.
The New York State Athletic Commission kind of fucked up. It was a good fight. Weidman won the first round, in my opinion. Mousasi started coming back. The second round, Weidman was winning early. Mousasi started coming back. But there's a rule in MMA, in the UFC, where if you have... See, this is a new rule that they implemented this year, and I don't even know if I'm getting it right.
Fuck it up.
It used to be...
There will be an actual UFC official listening
Ray's
to this podcast.
Ray's going to check me. He's Googling right now.
I'm gonna Google. I'm going to bing that.
It used to be if you had two hands down, you couldn't knee him in the head. Because like he was bent over, and it used to be if you had two hands on the floor, you couldn't knee him in the head.
What if someone is missing a hand?
But now it's one hand.
He puts a stub on the ground. Does that count?
Are you talking about Nick Nemeth?
No. Oh, does he only have one hand?
Yeah.
Oh.
He used to be a champion.
I actually apologize to him and his family.
Not Nick Nemeth. That's the fucking Spirit Squad guy.
Nick Nolte?
No, it's some Nick guy. He had one hand in World Series of Fighting, but he was their champion.
Oh.
Apparently, he was pretty good.
I apologize to him.
But anyways, Weidman had one hand down. He was trying to play the game. And when you try to play the game, you get kneed in the fucking face.
This is true.
And so...
Triple H will tell you that.
Yeah, and Mousasi lifted it up, kneed him in his fucking head. He goes down. The referee stops the fight on accident, thinking that it was a foul. It was not a foul. So there's this big commotion going on. Referee Dan Miragliotta, who's not my favorite referee. He's probably not even in my top 5 referees.
You have top 5 referees?
I have top 5 everything for MMA. but yeah, certainly I do have a top 5 referees. Dan Miragliotta.
Not in it?
Not a top 5 referee. Sorry, Dan. Great referee, but you kind of suck.
We love you. I've never heard your name before, but you're probably a nice guy.
Yeah. So Miragliotta doesn't know what to do. Checks in with John McCarthy, who's my top 1 referee. He's the best referee of all time.
I actually know who that is.
Yeah, Big John McCarthy says...
Melissa McCarthy's brother, right?
I don't know.
Oh.
Couldn't tell you.
She's a terrible actress.
Anyways, so John McCarthy checks... This will go faster, just because I'm already taking much longer than I wanted to on this. They check the replay, which they're not supposed to do technically in New York State. Mark McCarthy's like, I checked the replay. It was a legal knee. So now it's like this weird thing where it's like they check the replay, but they're not supposed to check the replay. It's not supposed to be valid. Long story short, Weidman loses on a technicality. He's pissed. The crowd is pissed. Everyone's booing. And there might be a rematch. It was a good fight. Weidman lost on a technicality.
Interesting.
And, yeah, man. So, that was the co-main event. In the women's strawweight match, Cynthia Calvillo won via rear naked choke. You're not going to know who she is, but she's a little...
Rear naked choke is a popular move there, huh?
It's a good one. It's kind of like the chin lock in wrestling.
Yeah. Except people went with it.
She's coming up. She's a newcomer, and she's choking bitches out, man. And Thiago Alves defeats Patrick Cote, a couple veterans. Unanimous decision. Thiago Alves looked great.
Was that the main event or no?
No, the championship was the main event.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then rounding out the main card was Charles Oliveira defeating Will Brooks via submission. Called this one all day. Charles Oliveira is a beast. He's a submission wizard. He gets a hold of you. He's going to tap you out. And Will Brooks apparently didn't know that.
Good match or good fight?
Good match for me. But, not a good match for Will Brooks. Fight of the night goes to Shane Burgos and Charles Rosa. Pretty good fight. I don't know if it was fight of the night, but whatever. And performance of the night, these bonuses, fighters get $50,000 bonuses.
That's not bad.
Yeah, performance of the night goes to Charles Oliveira for his submission victory, and to Gregor Gillespie for his knockout of Andrew Holbrook. 21 seconds into the fight. Didn't see that fight, but apparently he knocked him the fuck out.
You just got knocked the fuck out.
You just got knocked the fuck out, man. So anyways, that wraps up UFC. Daniel Cormier will be facing John Jones soon. You know John Jones, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so John Jones is coming back from his year-long suspension. Greatest fighter of all time.
Suspended for illegal substances, right?
I think he was taking boner pills or something.
Oh.
And yeah, man, something happened.
You can't get a boner in the UFC or you are fucking banned.
It's like, it's bad enough John Jones beats the fuck out of you, but if he
right.
beats the fuck out of you with a boner,
fuck. Even worse.
God damn it.
Worse.
I'm in a cage. I can't run away.
You can't climb that cage either.
So, it'll be a rematch. John Jones defeated Daniel Cormier. We'll definitely have talk about this on the podcast.
Absolutely. And I will actually watch that one, and so I can actually make some actual intelligent.
This is a feud that you would get into. It's very wrestling centric, kind of like.
That's what UFC needs more of.
It's got a lot of shit talking in this. So so that wraps it up for
much
UFC.
like this podcast. A lot of shit talking. Yeah. So. All right, next topic we're going to talk about. So this one's kind of a more humorous one. There was a man. He recently ran a half marathon. Kind of do a little read through of the internet's writing of this. Running a half marathon is no easy feat, and drinking beer while doing so makes the task that much more challenging. YouTube user Emmett Fernan decided that his most recent half marathon would be a beer run. He shotgunned a beer at the start of every mile. That's an interesting way to run 13.1 miles. There's no way I could do that, regardless of how many beers I had or did not have. While the race was held on April 1st, this idea was no joke. He might be a fool, though. ... LOL. Farnan managed to break the 2-hour mark, completing the race in 1 hour, 43 minutes, 42 seconds. That's an impressive time without any drinks. Adding beer to the mix makes it even more remarkable. So,
what was the time on that?
1 hour, 43 minutes, and 42 seconds. I believe that was actually much quicker than our last podcast, in which we drank 6 beers each. And so I don't know how many breaks there are, but I can imagine there's probably pretty close to 6. So fuck yeah to this dude. And there's no way I could do that. I would have.
Props to that guy. What was his name?
Emmett Fernan. Big shout out to you. If you want to sponsor us on your YouTube channel, we'll sponsor you maybe. I don't know.
He had this on video.
I believe so. I believe he does actually have video. It looks like he had like a GoPro or something on while he did it. I see a picture.
I can't even imagine trying this.
Yeah. So
he didn't drink any water.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you drank a beer and a water at every break, maybe that would round it out, but I'm not good at that even when I'm
13.1 miles
sitting down and drinking, so.
Fuck. I have to wonder if he's done this before.
Actually, in the thing, I think it says his most recent half marathon, so I'm assuming that he has run a couple half marathons, full marathons, I don't know, before, so I have run none.
I wonder how he was running towards the end. Because, like our podcast, like halfway through, kind of went downhill.
Then it just dropped. The second part of the marathon.
I wonder if he was like kind of veering off to the grass.
Quarter marathon was good. The last quarter of the marathon, not so good. Police officer made him run a straight line into the ribbon, maybe. So
fucking A, man.
I don't know. Do they have a ribbon at the end of a marathon? I'm not real sure. I haven't actually been to a marathon. Maybe someone who's been in a marathon can let us know. Let us know in the comment section what the fuck happens in a marathon.
Yeah, I know the early guys get them, but I don't know if they hold it for everybody.
Yeah, everyone gets a ribbon. They have like a ribbon.
You should get a special ribbon for that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, that's tough.
That is
How many beers total did he drink? 8?
I don't.
For every mile, it said.
It said that he shotgunned a beer at the start of every mile. So, 13 beers. So he had 13 beers.
That was more than we drank.
He drank more than us.
An hour.
Hour and 43.
Hour and 43.
But I will say that I'm sure that first off, he was running, which means he was probably sweating part of the alcohol.
Sweating it out. Yeah.
And also, I'm sure that he wasn't drinking three philosophers as he was. I'm sure it was
9.7.
Miller, no
and
alcohol.
He's building up a thirst. That all that running makes you thirsty.
Looks a bit like Steel Reserve in the picture. I'm not really 100% on that, but yeah. Anyway,
he was just going full on torture chamber.
Cheers to that guy.
Hell yeah!
Good all right,
job,
next topic.
All right, as you know, the NBA playoffs are starting. We got my main team, Chicago Bulls. The 8th seed, at least they made it in there somehow, some way. But they're going to be facing the Boston.
Are the Bulls? So I do not follow the NBA pretty much at all. I know they were all right a few years ago. Are they? How are they? I mean, obviously they're in the playoffs.
They have 2 stars, Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade.
All right.
So with those 2, they have a chance. Their team is in limbo right now. They have a couple of up-and-coming guys and a couple of older guys. They didn't go full rebuild, which I thought they were going to do. And I'm not in love with their coach, but I will love their coach, Fred Hoiberg, if he can win a couple series here.
What if he bought you some flowers or took you out to dinner or something? Did you love him then?
You know what? Not doing
What if he just brought a ring back to Chicago?
The ring would be nice.
Okay. What if he got you a ring?
He can give me some seats. If you want to give me some seats,
Hey, you give us some seats and we'll give you
win some fucking games and give me some fucking tickets.
There you go.
Straight to Eddie's heart.
Yes.
Anyways, so yeah, man, 8th seed. They're facing the Boston Celtics in the first round. I thought they were gonna face the Cleveland Cavaliers, which would have been okay, but obviously they would have lost most likely. They beat the Cavaliers, I think 3 or 4 times this year though, in the regular season. So it wouldn't have been a bad matchup. Yeah. So I think Chicago has a chance.
When's the last time that they won an NBA championship?
1998.
Wow, really? They have not won. Wow.
It's hard.
Damn. Yeah. Was Jordan still around at that point? Was that like the end of the Jordan? Was it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, that was the very last year. Wait, no, was it 98? Yeah, 97, 98. And then 98, 99 was the lockout.
Okay.
Where they only played half the season.
I remember that.
So the Boston Celtics have a really good player, Isaiah Thomas. I think you know Isaiah Thomas, right?
Yeah.
The old school
of
Isaiah
course,
Thomas.
For the
Detroit Pistons.
The Pistons, yes.
Yeah, his son.
That was my basketball era.
Yeah, his son plays for the Boston Celtics.
Really? He's
really good. He averages like 30 points a game. He's Mr. Fourth Quarter. He comes alive in the fourth quarter. He's
the opposite of us.
Yeah.
We're awesome at the beginning, but then we tend to tank at the end.
No, I got the mic close to my face this time, so you'll be able to hear me now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Sunday, if the podcast comes out before Sunday. Sunday night they'll be playing, and go Bulls, man, all the way. I know the Milwaukee Bucks are in there. They're the 6th seed. They'll be playing I should have looked that up before.
That's all right.
Who cares? Are the Bucks?
We'll just,
nobody likes the fucking Bucks.
We'll post-production,
it's
whoever
all
they're
about
playing.
The Bulls up in this bitch.
Fuck it.
So go Bulls. If you don't like the Bulls, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Next topic.
All right. Next topic. Obviously, this has been everywhere. You cannot avoid it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Whoops.
We're talking about the man who was removed forcibly from the United Airlines flight. This has not been the best PR thing for United Airlines. Basically they overbooked a flight and They had to remove some people for, I believe, some. Sorry, I was going to say stewardess. I believe that's offensive now, but for some flight attendants, and no one was agreeing to leave, and so at some point they decided to beat the fuck out of a Chinese man and forcibly drag him off the plane, and that didn't go all that well, and there was kind of an uproar because a lot of people filmed it, and
I really wish this guy knew karate or some type of martial art, and he just fucked those guys up. He's like, it would almost be like, because you remember Bruce Lee?
I do remember Bruce Lee.
He was really skinny and scrawny.
I don't believe he was from China, though. But
he wasn't scrawny. He was built.
Yeah.
But imagine if that happened to Bruce Lee.
I believe that was actually sort of racist to assume that every single Asian person knows some sort of kung fu. So
I'm just saying. Like, it wasn't.
But still, I wish he did know some fucking kung fu.
Man, imagine they tried that shit on Bruce Lee. He would have fucked everybody up.
He would have given them the 1-inch punch and just ripped their entrails out.
But instead, they got the Asian guy that couldn't fight.
Right.
What the fuck is that about?
The one guy. Yeah. What I think the most interesting aspect of this to me is that you have just, a fucking gigantic company, and because of information being so readily available now and people being able to record things and put it online, things blow up so quickly, and you have a company like United that lost $1 billion in the aftermath of this.
They can afford it.
I'm sure they can, but you know what? I guess China is actually one of the biggest countries to utilize United Airlines, and thus a lot of people are saying they're not going to use United Airlines anymore.
They doubled down on their asses.
So, yeah, this could potentially be something that could, in the end, maybe put United out of business. One terrible, terrible decision.
They're not going out of business. They're going to have to lower their prices, though.
Yeah. Definitely not a good decision. I'm sure a lot of people are shitting their pants right now at United Airlines. What the fuck were they thinking? What were they thinking?
They weren't. That's no problem.
No. And you know what? Apparently, I had heard that the decision was kind of made based on pulling a name out of a hat, which is actually, apparently, I heard the corporate policy. I don't know if that's true or not, but how fucking weird
it's
that
ridiculous.
somewhere in the United Airlines like standard operating procedure on if a flight is overbooked is pick the shortest straw, I guess, was taken already.
So. Ridiculous. God damn it, United. Stop overbooking flights. This isn't just for United. This is for all you fuckers.
Seriously, any of them could have done this shit.
You guys don't need the extra fucking $180 or whatever the fuck it costs for a seat. Your seats aren't that great. Nobody gives a shit about your fucking stocks. Stop overbooking the fucking planes. Leave people the fuck alone, or else you're going to run into a motherfucker like Bruce Lee. He's going to fuck everybody up, and then you're really going to regret this shit.
Yeah, that was me screaming in the microphone. I was trying to do my Bruce Lee impression, which is not very good. There you go. Thank you. I should have channeled my inner Liu Kang.
You know what I want? I want, like, the previous owners of the UFC, the Fertitta brothers, are multi-billionaires now because their company just got bought for several billions of dollars. I want them to make like a reality show where they send UFC fighters on United flights, just waiting for the day that the shit's overbooked, and then they try to get like a UFC fighter off the plane, and they just get fucked up by all these UFC fighters. Just like, nah, sorry, bro.
Yep,
ain't happening.
You can give me all the Pepsis you want.
Just
it
like
is not happening.
All the heavyweights from UFC, all the like John Jones, Cain Velasquez. Just all these badass
Nothing
motherfuckers.
But a plane full of UFC guys.
Send them on a plane every day for like the next 6 months, waiting for the day for it to be overbooked.
I am sick of...
And just record the fuck out of that shit. Cain Velasquez fucking everybody up on United.
I am motherfucking sick of all these motherfucking UFC fighters on this motherfucking plane, but I am not going to kick them off. I am going to give them any beverage they want.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, United will take one look at Cain Velasquez and be like, yeah, that 80-year-old grandma, you got to go.
Yeah, that is a done deal.
We're not asking him to get up.
I had recently heard about a drunk guy at Walmart who decided that he was going to, try to attack an ex-MMA fighter, and that didn't go all that well for him. And I can't imagine that if a plane is filled with a bunch of UFC fighters, it's going to go all that well for the United Airlines security team. So yeah, you know what,
Lorenzo, make that shit happen, man.
Stop. You know what? Stop fucking with people and let them fucking go.
It's the overbooking of the flights.
Oh, for sure.
They're trying to save all this money.
They want to make as much money as possible.
It's a cash grab, and they're trying to grab every little penny they
can. Do you think those 4 tickets were worth $1 billion in stock value? Probably not.
Nailed it.
So yeah. All right. Next topic, Eddie. Hit it up.
All right. Well, we can't go around these days without talking about Mr. Donald Trump, our president of the United States. A lot of interesting stuff going on these days.
Yes. Very, very interesting.
The poor people in Syria. Don't know much about this, but a bunch of children, unfortunately, got sick.
Yeah, I believe that they had used some sort of chemical weapons.
From some actions that may or may not have been caused by the president of Syria. Not sure.
Yeah. Probably.
Probably, but you can't say for sure.
Sounds pretty logical, but yeah, you know what? I'm just a white American, so.
Yeah, so and
I don't really know.
That caused a ripple effect that caused Mr. Donald Trump, or not Mr. Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually him, kayfabe, on CNN.com that authorized it, but this morning, there was a mother of all bombs dropped on the Pakistani-Afghanistan border.
The largest non-nuclear bomb ever was dropped on Afghanistan. So.
Yeah, on a ISIS tunnel that will not be
right. That they
tunneling people anymore.
They text messaged every woman and child there and said, "Hey, don't come to the caves today." So
I sure hope not.
Yeah.
They got fucked up if they did.
Donald
Trump ain't fucking around. So yeah, man, people are thinking World War III is imminent. I have some opinions on that.
Not the terrible gimmick match from WCW, but actually World War III, the end of days.
You know,
so.
I'm not too concerned as a United States citizen about World War III.
I mean, let's be honest here. War actually on our turf at this point is pretty unlikely.
Non-existent.
Basically, it's...
Unless it's an inside job.
Yeah. So, you know, we tend to bring our military brute force to everyone else and be the world's police and tell them how to live their lives. And
well, we do the United Nations a favor. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Eddie the Jerk will give you the inside scoop on a World War III.
Hook it up.
If there is a World War III, it will only last a couple months, and it will be dominated by the United States, and it will be a laughable World War III to the extent of even calling it World War III is silly. The United States is built to succeed in war, in all facets of war, and to dominate at all times. The United States spends $596 billion, billion with a B, every year on its military.
I believe that number is actually higher now. The numbers that I saw were...
It goes up every year.
It was in the $600 billion...
With Donald, it's going up probably.
The actually interesting, I've looked at a chart of our defense budget compared to...
I'm looking at it right now.
China and a ton of other nations, and we dwarf all of those.
In the top 10... we're number one, obviously.
Of course.
Spending 2 through
America
10.
number one.
2 through 10, you can add up 2 through 10, and we spend more than 2 through 10.
Combined, including China and other large nations.
Oh, yeah. Which probably means that we could go to war with every single country in the world and still win.
And it is funny.
If it wasn't for the massive amount of numbers, but now technology's in play. There's a lot of things that are different than World War II in the 1940s.
A little bit, yeah.
So technology plays a big deal, and the United States has the biggest cock in this game, and we're fucking anybody that tries to fuck with us.
Yeah, that has kind of been our MO for the longest time. It's actually, it's always been interesting to me, like, you know, that Donald Trump panders to the, you know, we need to keep ourselves more safe and we need to invest more money in our defense when, you know, obviously our numbers are dwarfing everyone else.
Well, it's funny because everybody thinks George W. Bush was like, you know, the main thing in this. He did start this whole thing, or he didn't start it, but he led the charge in the spending. Obama actually spent more money than he did.
You know
on
what?
The defense
does not surprise me. I'll tell you what. Democrats, Republicans, two sides of the same cloth. There has only been, I believe, I forget what the exact number is, but there's been like less than 10 years in the entire history of the United States that we have not been engaged in a battle in a foreign land. So the bottom line is the military is one of the biggest businesses in this nation. It has been for the longest time, and sadly continuing to be at war and continuing to send our troops elsewhere, and sadly going into areas. You look at the numbers and it's really depressing. You see the number of innocent Iraqis that have been killed by our military compared to the amount of Americans that have been killed, and the numbers are just they're not even close. So I long for the day that we don't have to continue to do that, but it's obviously going to continue to happen, and the Donald is going to continue with business as usual, just like.
Have you heard what he's done recently? North Korea's fucking around with missiles right now.
Yeah,
and he made a deal with China.
Kim Jong-un,
he's North Korea, but the Donald made a deal with China.
Yeah,
China is our ally now.
Interesting.
They're number 2.
Number 2 on the list.
They're number 2.
They want to move. They want to move up. They know they got to hang out with number 1 a little bit more.
Well, it is what it is. The only reason we need China is to use their land, because they're closer to North Korea, so it's easier to defend and attack from there than it is from the United States.
I've played Risk before.
I think, man, I mean, China on our side was an unexpected thing that turned out pretty well for us.
Plot
because
twist.
Everyone's talking shit like, oh, China and Russia. It's like, Trump's got this thing on lockdown. So
yeah, I don't know if I would agree with all that, but I mean my
when I say Trump, it's a euphemism for the United States,
right? Because I mean it's a figurehead. It's it's all a big fucking game, and
U.S. has got this shit. Don't worry about nothing.
World War III ain't happening.
In 6 months, this will all be forgotten, and we'll go back to
smoke screen
talking shit about how Donald Trump doesn't like women or something.
Yeah, new season of The Apprentice will be probably debuting in November, so we gotta fix things by then. Arnold. I'm gonna tweet about Arnold. So all right.
I'm gonna tweet Obama to give my fucking $290 back.
Obama is just chilling these days, man. He's like
Obama, you owe me like fucking 15 dinners.
he's out on the Wave Runner and whatever other stuff he's doing. So shout out to Obama. You sponsor us, and we'll sponsor you, Obama. So
sure.
Yeah, that's probably not happening. But all right. Anything else you want to say on that topic? World War III.
World War III.
Not leading the show for some reason, but World War III.
Domination. It'll lead another show once it gets.
We are the nation of domination.
Domination.
Yep. All right. My next topic that I wanted to talk about, this is something that I find to be very, very interesting. Watch out, America. Robots are coming for your jobs. Right now, you've been worried about Mexicans coming for your jobs. Get ready. The fucking robots are coming, and they are definitely not lazy, and they are... And you know what? I want to.
Never get tired.
I want to preface. I want to make sure that it is known with that joke that I was not saying that Mexicans are lazy. That was just a poorly worded joke. But yeah, robots are coming for your jobs. Report finds 38% of U.S. jobs will be automated by the year 2030. So basically the deal is as automation moves further along. We're going to see more and more jobs that are going to be phased out, and we're going to see more and more people that are going to be found without a job. They're going to have to find a different line of work. But 40% of people, within the next 20 years or so, well, not even, less than that.
13 years.
13 years. I forgot what year it was. So the big question is, what do we do? Obviously, a lot of people can, find new skills, figure out how to fix the fucking robots, I guess would probably be a logical one. But, a lot of people are going to be left without a job. What do we do? How does society not crumble when 40% of our workforce doesn't have a job? What do we do? What do those people do? So what's your thoughts on this, Eddie?
I think 38% is a little high. 13 years is a long time from now, but... it goes back to the thing where 25, 35 years ago, people were saying, "Oh, in the year 2000, we'll be flying on."
In the year 2000.
Yeah, we'll be on hovercrafts and all this goofy shit.
I'm waiting on my fucking hoverboard,
like
man.
the Jetsons. It's like life will be so much different.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, so many years from now. I believe it when I see it. I think 38% is a little high. I would think 15% would be closer.
Even 15%, man.
It's still a cut. Yeah, it's still a cut. At the end of the day, even beyond 2030, I think that humanity will find a way to sabotage the robots. Because
I've seen fucking Terminator, god damn it, okay?
Because
Skynet, I got your fucking number, okay?
It's survival of the fittest.
Satakana.
It's survival of the fittest out here, man.
Yeah.
Only the strong survive, and the robots do not know the struggle. They don't know what hunger is. They don't know what it's like to be, they don't have a conscience. So when it comes down to like a person in their family that has kids losing their job to a fucking robot, somewhere along the line, it might not happen that day or the next week, but they're going to find a way to fuck those robots up.
You know what? I will say that I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
What up, robots?
Robots, we fucking love you. So yeah, basically my take on this is, so the big thing with this is that they've actually, in this study, they kind of broke it down based on how much you make per hour and what your risk is for losing your job. And so basically people that make less than $20 an hour, so, you can imagine the type of jobs that, that would encompass, those are the type of jobs that are going to be most likely phased out.
So I'm good. And you are too.
So I think that...
Just kidding.
The big thing with this is that there is a lot of limitation to what the robots can do at this point. Actually, they did a study where they tried to have a robot put together an IKEA piece of furniture, and basically to like put one dowel pin in and put a leg on, it took it like 5 minutes, and it took a human 10 seconds. So those type of things, robots have not made it to that point yet. They definitely are being defeated by IKEA furniture, and anybody who has ever put IKEA furniture together will attest to that fact.
I'm a little disappointed.
In the robots?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Come on, robots. Step your game up. By the way, I still love robots. And robots, if you want to sponsor the podcast, we will definitely sponsor your robot podcast. But yeah, sure. I think that my big assessment on this and where I would like to see us go, and I don't know that this is where we would go, but I would love to see it happen, is I think that there should be a minimum basically living wage for all of our citizens. And if we could take that number that we were talking about for a defense budget, and instead of investing that in killing people more, we could instead invest that back into our people here in our in our nation. People wouldn't have to be engaged in slave labor and doing these menial tasks that robots can do, and they could have a just decent living, house, roof over their head and food, and then I think that would free up a lot of people's time to be able to do things that could just advance humanity even further. And I'm sure a lot of people would kind of look at the negative connotation, and then, people are lazy and, they wouldn't do anything. But I think that a lot of people would probably take that in the opposite direction. And I think that if we can utilize technology in a way to alleviate people from having to do those type of jobs, and instead utilize our time in a much better fashion, humanity is only going to move forward and get better. So that's my take.
Yeah, it's like, once I see the robots in the workplace, it's just like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, I don't want to deal with this shit. I love my Amazon. I love my smartphone. I love my computer and shit. This is all technology and shit. Yeah. It's not a robot, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
I just can't talk to a robot.
Now,
it's
I think that I will tell you what, that they're a company that I actually used to work for a good number of years. Lowe's is actually introducing robots into some of their stores, and they're planning on moving them into more stores. And basically what it equates to is a giant fucking iPod on, robot that looks a lot shittier than the one from Short Circuit. And you go in and you ask it something, and then it very slowly brings you to that item. And
very slowly.
Very, very slowly.
Stupid robots. Can't you walk faster? I have to go to work 15 minutes.
So it was interesting. One of the guys that did development for Lowe's, he's being asked on like CNBC what he thought.
See, what they need to do is get the robot to get the shit and then come back to you.
Yeah.
In like 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, that would not. Yeah. Yeah, if he could do it quickly, maybe. But yeah.
Run over a little kid or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of other shit to worry about.
Beat up a Japanese guy on the way down. Or Asian guy.
But yeah, the dude who developed it, he got asked, what did the employees think about it, and his response was essentially like, oh, you know what, they love it. At first they didn't like it, but then now it's become an integral part of their workplace, and everybody kind of crowds around and wants to see it doing its thing. And the host had basically said that they would be looking for the nearest robot crusher, and so I think that kind of dates back to what you were saying. That I think that people that would be threatened by a robot would probably find a way to sabotage that robot. But I think in the end, eventually, robots are going to be integrated in more and more ways, and in less, more beneficial ways. And I don't think we should fight that, but I think that at the same time, we're not at that point quite yet, but technology is just advancing further and further at a rate that we just can't fully understand at this point. So it'll be interesting to see where we go.
Well, the balance of the investment in the robot, the maintenance of the robot, and the implementation of the robot cost weighing against human people.
Yeah, you know what I'll tell you? A lot of fast food restaurants are actually cutting a lot of their workforce. I believe Wendy's is one of those. Instead of having people at the register, they have little kiosks where you basically order and they send the orders to the back. So it's interesting. I mean, if it's fiscally worth putting those type of kiosks in, and you're going to get your investment back and be able to cut some of your workforce, I mean, it makes sense. But it'll be interesting to see, what people think of that, how much of that they accept, because it's going to be a very different experience. You're very used to a certain idea, when you go into a restaurant or a fast food place. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, 2030 seems a little early for me, but you never know with the way
absolutely
technology progresses every year now.
Yes.
But I have a hard time seeing it.
Yeah, it's
the hovercraft thing.
I'm still waiting on the hovercraft. I'll tell you what, based on that, the Back to the Future thing, I always think of when I watch Back to the Future Part 2, and there's a point where Biff is talking to someone on the telephone, and they have a telephone that has basically like a video feed of the person he's talking to. And I remember just being blown away by seeing that when I initially watched that movie. And now that's something that fully exists, and FaceTime is out there. It's been out there for a good number of years now. I don't personally use it, but some of those things have happened. We haven't made it to the hovercraft yet. We can't fully guess where we're going to be, but we're definitely going to continue to move forward. So
I'm all about having a robot slave, if that makes sense. If I can get a robot to clean my house, cook for me, do all this menial shit that I don't have time in my day to do.
Give me a hand ski.
Laundry, shopping. If I can get a robot to do all that shit for me, I'm good.
Yeah.
The second a robot fucks up my order, that robot's getting fucked up.
I'm going to fucking kill that robot. I did not want pickles on this goddamn sandwich.
Nah. If I'm at the register and my change is $65.13 and you give me like 13 cents with no $60, it's getting a bus driver uppercut from hell. I'm sorry, that head's coming off.
I am going to channel my inner Bruce Lee.
The head's coming off.
Robot.
And what are you going to do? Send security robots after me? I'm fucking them up too.
Good luck.
I'm sorry, I'm not the old Asian man on United. I'm fucking up some robots. It's going down.
It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Robots, keep this in mind. We love you, but at the same time, we will fuck your shit up.
Don't send your bullshit security robots after me. I'll fuck all you up.
Fuck you, robots. Also, we love you. Sponsor us. We'll sponsor you.
Anyways, so
all right. Any next topic?
On the topic of robots.
Yes. Yes. What do you got?
Self-driving cars.
Self-driving cars,
which are almost like robots in of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever driven in a self-driving car?
I have not. Have you?
Me neither. No, I've seen plenty of videos on them though.
Yeah, they're very, very interesting. I think that this is an area where I really, really like the idea of integration of technology.
That's a robot I can get down with.
Drive,
bitch. 35th and Western.
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. How many people die from driving? Car accidents are one of the biggest killers out there. So if we can take that off of our plate and instead we can have, self-driving cars that are going to eliminate that, why wouldn't we fucking do that? Unless the robot cars are driving us to the Skynet facility. And in that case, I'm fucking scared. Arnold, I love you. And depending on the film, you are for or against Skynet. So
you still love everybody and you're not drunk.
No. You know what? Actually, I will say that, yeah.
You're a very loving guy.
I really do love
Except
everyone.
for when it comes to wrestling.
That is true. I'm a fucking cynic. I'm a goddamn wrestling cynic. I have been raped by bad wrestling for too long, so don't misinterpret that. But yeah. But seriously though, yeah, I think that the self-driving car, I think it's an awesome thing, and I can't wait to see it implemented because I don't want to have to drive my shitty 1995 Honda Accord around anymore. So if I get a fucking self-driving car to take me to work, I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it. So
yeah, the self-driving car, you got to stop at the red lights. You got to stop at the stop signs. I think freeway driving is easy breezy. You probably have to...
CoverGirl.
No. Yeah, exits.
Is that a CoverGirl reference? Or
I don't know.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe
Easy
it's a
breezy.
self-driving car.
What we used to say
Easy,
at work.
Easy breezy.
Yeah. For occupation, I'm kind of digging it because as a truck driver, it's like the United States government mandates a self-driving car have a human...
Oh, really?
Behind the wheel.
There you go.
Has to have a human being behind the wheel. So it makes it'll make my job easier.
Absolutely.
Well, the whole thing is if there's not a human in the thing, and it kills somebody, whatever company was doing that is going out of business real quick.
Yeah.
Or not going out of business.
The robot will definitely hit and run.
That's a lawsuit and a half.
He has no emotion for the people that he has killed.
Okay, so you got an 18-wheel truck with 40,000 pounds of product on it, and it runs over two 12-year-olds. Two 12-year-old girls on the sidewalk.
R.I.P. two 12-year-old girls in this analogy.
Good. So it has to have a driver there.
So they can blame that person.
It can't be foolproof. If you're jerking off behind the wheel and you kill two 12-year-olds, you're getting the hit, not the robot truck.
Yes. Put your dick away while you're behind the wheel. That is not the right time to beat your meat.
No, it's not.
Fucking pay attention to the road.
Get in the driver's seat and do your fucking job.
I will tell you what, though. That would actually be an interesting thing I hadn't thought about with self-driving cars. You could actually jerk off while you were in the self-driving car. Wouldn't be a big deal.
Dude, you can have full-blown orgies in that motherfucker.
Fuck it.
Get you a fucking van with that self-driving. You can get about 3-4 strippers up in there. Have a good night.
Fuck yeah. You could self-drive the bang bus. So.
I'm damn! Hell yeah!
I pulled back in the deepest, darkest recesses of my mind.
Once that shit comes out, Bang Bus is doing the self-driving video.
Bang Bus, the self-driving
You heard it
Bang
here
Bus
first.
edition coming soon.
You sponsor us, we'll sponsor
Bang
you.
Bus, if you want to sponsor us, we will sponsor you. Coming soon. You spell coming however you want to. So, all right. Self-driving. Right. Anything else you want to say on that, or?
No, but if Tesla wants me to test drive one of these bitches and throw it up on YouTube, I'm all.
We will do that. We will definitely test your self-driving apparatus. So yeah, hook us up. I need a new car, please.
And we won't talk shit about it unless it sucks.
Right. Remember that I love everything and everyone. So
Ray loves everything.
If you give me free shit, I definitely will love you. So.
And Eddie is a jerk.
Eddie is kind of a jerk. So yeah. All right. Let's do a little break real quick. And little break ski. We're gonna come back and then we're gonna hit the last couple topics.
Don't leave.
Coming back. Do a little wrap up. So all right. Going to break here and enjoy the fantastic tunes that are coming into your ear holes. All right. Break. what you're thinking, how much you love us, and how much you like us, and how much you love us. Or if you hate us, we will give you the wrong email address. Just kidding. We're going to give you the right one. We want to hear from you regardless of what your opinion is. We want to hear from you. First and foremost, obviously, I would think this is where you're listening to us, but if not, SoundCloud.com. You're going to hit us up. SoundCloud.com / not backslash / Jerk of All Trades Podcast. That's where you can listen to us, much like you're probably doing right now. The Facebook, the Mark Zuckerberg, we have talked about him in the past, maybe in the future. / Jerk of All Trades Podcast is on Facebook. Go there, give us a like, click that little button. We would definitely appreciate it. Twitter.com, where you will see the tweets. Tweet.
Fuck Tom Anderson.
I believe that's MySpace. We are not on MySpace. If you're looking for us on MySpace, we are not there.
If you're looking for us on MySpace, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You are a time traveler. What the fuck are you doing? Twitter.com, JOAT Podcast. That is how you can find us on Twitter. Instagram, where we will post interesting and unique and funny and possibly mundane photos, is Instagram.com / JerkOfAllTradesPodcast. YouTube. Once again, I have talked about my hatred for YouTube, so I'm going to describe how you're going to get to us on YouTube, because it's not easy. It's actually easier than you think. YouTube.com, go to channels. You're going to search JOAT Podcast, all as one word. That's how you're going to find us. We will put up all of our new episodes in a YouTube-friendly format. So if you are not using SoundCloud, you can check us out on YouTube. And then finally, if you want to send us those emails, tell us what you are thinking. Gmail. You got to have the Gmail. Jerk of All Trades Podcast. It's at gmail.com. Send us an email. Send us a Gmail. Send us an electronic mail. Tell us what you are thinking. So, Jerk of All Trades, hit us up. Let us know what you're thinking. We love each and every one of you on the serious tip. Thanks for listening, and thanks for taking part of your day out to listen to two jerks you don't really know have snarky and cynical comments about a bunch of happenings in this world on the Variety Hour. So
we'll grow on you.
We will
give us a chance.
We're like a fungus.
We'll make your panties wet.
We are like a fungus.
We're like a fungus.
In between your toes, in your panties. We will definitely.
We're like a fungus in your panties.
We're Jerk of
You
all...
might want to go to the doctor.
That's
for that.
That might be a new catchphrase here at Jerk of All Trades. We are like a fungus in your panties.
You can't write this stuff.
You might want to see your gynecologist if you have been listening to the Jerk of All Trades podcast, because your panties are covered in our fungi. So we are actually pretty fun guys. So that was a really shitty fungus
I enjoyed
pun.
it. That was good.
There it was, Jerk of All Trades podcast.
Hit us
Social
up.
media, and we're going to go to the final topic. And I thought this was a very interesting one. This is via space.com. There is a potential energy source for life spotted on the Saturn moon on Calidus. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. So, yes, Saturn's icy moon on Calidus, I'm going to mispronounce it again, is looking more and more like a habitable world.
I believe it's Calades.
Yeah, probably.
Kelades?
No, there's no K in there. It's a C.
Okay.
The same sorts of chemical reactions that sustain life near deep sea hydrothermal vents here on Earth could potentially be occurring within the word I can't pronounce, subsurface ocean. A new study published on April 13th in the Journal of Science suggests. These reactions depend on a bunch of other words that I'm not going to read. So basically, I just wanted to talk about that. Man, how fucking crazy would it be in our lifetimes if we actually finally were able to prove or even see that there was life elsewhere in this giant fucking universe? That would absolutely be mind-blowing. Can you imagine what it would do for society if we realized that there was some... God is an alien. You're living in the matrix that is created by the Greys. or the lizard people or by Donald Trump. So yeah, fucking the Donald.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. He actually used to be a businessman back in the day, and now I believe
he was at WrestleMania once, right?
Yeah, he was actually at WrestleMania a couple times.
Nice.
He got stunned at WrestleMania, and he shook hands with the $1 Million Man, and everybody has a price.
That's his legacy.
Everyone has a price.
Sitting at front row picking his goddamn nose.
If there was ever a lizard person, as Donald Ike would suggest, Donald Trump might very well be that person. So what do you think about all that? What do you think about life on other planets?
Fuck, we need a spaceship that gets those light years going. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a moon from Saturn, a Saturn moon?
Correct.
Okay, so Saturn.
Same type of environment that sustains life here.
How many light years to get there?
Doesn't say. I don't know, 3 parsecs, I believe. That's Star Wars reference.
Well, the cynic in me says that we're never going to make it in any lifetime, but I hope to be disproven.
What about the parallel universe? Will we make it there?
The question is, have we already made it there in a parallel universe?
This is true.
It would be cool.
Absolutely.
Richard Branson or, somebody could make that happen. NASA, if they could make it happen, they're not going to tell us about it. Yeah, man, it's just stuff like this. It's hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Just to get to Mars or, even the moon is such a, it's such a issue that getting to Saturn just... I can't wrap my head around it.
They've got the rings of Saturn.
Doesn't it take 3 years to get to Mars? 3 light years.
I believe there was a joke about that as a child, right? Something about.
We should have looked this up beforehand.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how long it takes to get to Mars.
Just to get there, not even to get back.
But to get more Milky Bars, or I can't remember. I was trying to dig deep into my brain to find the childhood limerick. But yeah, I think that I'm just very interested to see that if, based on this, what if we could actually finally prove that there is life elsewhere.
Oh, that's where you were going with
right. Yeah, it's not even the going there thing. It's more the what if there is life elsewhere in this universe. I mean, honestly, this universe is, endless and
infinite.
Right. Yeah.
I absolutely believe 100% there's life on other planets elsewhere.
So what if we finally, get some sort of proof of that?
Well, the super telescope is supposed to be made in 2020, right? It's supposed to be finished in 2020.
Is that going to be made by the robots or
the super telescope? It was.
Why can't we send some? Let's send some fucking robots and self-driving fucking spaceships to fucking.
Yeah, just send the fucking robots out there. Fuck it.
And robots, please tell us the truth about what's going on.
As far as the Milky Way goes, I'm not sure if there's other life out there. But in other galaxies, I do believe that you would be just so ignorant to believe that there isn't.
Right, that we're it.
Yeah.
It's a very ballsy thing to think that we are it. We are the epitome of what this world is. So, yeah.
Send the robots out there. I don't want to
send the fucking robots out to
because when I get there, I want to make sure I get back. It's like, if I'm not back at work by Monday, there's gonna be problems.
Right. I only have so many sick days. You know what?
And there's only so much oxygen in the tanks.
This is very true. You know what? I've seen way too many science fiction movies.
And they don't got no fried chicken out there.
They have no fried chicken.
They got no burgers.
They got no burgers.
What the fuck am I gonna eat on Saturn?
They might actually have those. I'll tell you what, I've seen way too many science fiction movies. I've seen Alien way too many times. I have seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. Actually, I cannot believe that somehow that was not a reference point in the Robot Overlords segment. Hal is definitely not going to go along with you shutting him down and trying to sell your burgers to you. So, yeah, I think this is I would love to see where this goes and what plays out here. And
when was this article posted?
This was published on today Today. This is a brand new fucking breaking news. So.
Any other day, this would have been a good story.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a good story today too. So you know what? It
got overshadowed.
I'll tell you what.
Pretty abundantly.
I for one welcome our alien overlords, and if it's not them, I welcome our robot overlords.
If you welcome them, it's because they are programming you to welcome them.
I don't know how to respond to that.
It's some next level shit.
I feel like you've blown my feeble little human mind.
My main question is...
Give it to me.
My question is, what do the aliens have questions about the universe? What is it that they are seeking? You know what I'm saying? If they have advanced technology and answers to questions that we don't even have yet, what are the answers to the questions that they have?
I think the biggest question that they would have is, so this, you have how many people? 7 billion people in this universe, universe, I believe, actually meant Earth. There's
planet.
Planet, I believe is the word I was looking for. You have 7 billion people here, and the United States is the biggest power in this entire planet. And
maybe in the galaxy.
Possibly. And out of all those people, you chose this guy to lead you.
That's not a question they would have. They already know the answer to that question because they're the
because we're not very smart and we watch too much reality television. Donald J. Trump, I will not sponsor you. You could sponsor this podcast all you want. I'm not sponsoring you. Yeah, but you know.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to leave it at that.
You can write a check tomorrow.
I would write a check, but I don't believe my ass could cash it.
My ass can cash it. Eddie Brantley will cash that motherfucker.
Eddie the Jerk will sponsor you on his own solo podcast.
Donald already knows what's up.
He knows the dealio.
He already knows what's up.
Yeah, that's all right. So the robots, the aliens, Donald Trump. Somehow, by hook, by crook, this world might be going the way of the Undertaker. So, You know what? If it is,
Ice Age,
we love each and every one of you, and we have loved you since the beginning of time, before we ever existed.
Climate change ain't coming. You got nothing to worry about for another 150 years at least.
I believe it already exists. Maybe.
Yeah, but
let's ask Al Gore about it.
Mass extinction, we're good.
We should be good for right now, and that means that you will get more Jerk of All Trades.
You're motherfucking right.
Episode 3.
Fuck yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna call it. We're gonna say that this is it.
We're going home, bitch.
We'll hit them with the social media one more time, real quick. Hit us up. SoundCloud.com/JerkOfAllTradesPodcast, Facebook.com/JerkOfAllTradesPodcast, Twitter.com, JOAT Podcast, Instagram.com, JerkOfAllTradesPodcast, YouTube.com, channels, search JOAT Podcast, and Gmail, JerkOfAllTradesPodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. Tell us what you think.
SoundCloud. Hit that play button on SoundCloud.
Absolutely. Give us a like. We love you guys. Thank you guys for listening once again, and we will see you next week.
We out.
We are going to say goodbye. Jerk of All Trades Podcast. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye-bye.
Love you.